What's going on, guys? Cruising with Jacoby here, and today I have a 2022 Ford Bronco Wildtrak. This belongs to my friend. He's out of town for the week, so he said I could borrow it and drive it and use it for my YouTube to get a feel for it. So I appreciate him. Shout out to him for this. Now, he got this earlier this year because he was wanting a Bronco when it first came out. He had a Wrangler, he had some other cars. He traded in his Mustang GT for this, and he plans on keeping this for a very long time, and it looks really good. He got it, I believe, at 38,000 miles, and now it's at 47,000 miles, so around 9,000 miles he's put on this vehicle, and he loves it. No more back to the car, though. So this is the Wildtrak. In 2022, when the Wildtrak first came out, this was the top trim for the Bronco. Now the top trim for the Bronco is, of course, the Raptor. So with the Wildtrak, what made it so nice, it made it so cool, is that it came with everything you needed as far as off-roading and a little bit of not high luxury as in a luxury car, but more luxury than the base model that you get in the Bronco. On the inside, you already see it's more aggressive, wider fenders, aggressive front bumper. Front grille is in this nice little gloss black. Headlamps, fully LED. Fog lamps at the bottom. Underneath the wide fender, you're gonna get these beefy 35-inch tires, and then you're gonna get an upgraded 4x4 suspension that you can control from the inside with the G.O.A.T mode control. Here's a side view of it. Bronco right here spelled out. He actually added this on, and I think it looks good. It's from the classic Bronco, and I think it looks good right there. And the cursive, you're gonna get your mirrors that aren't connected to the door. So this was Ford's biggest selling point with the Bronco compared to the Wrangler, is that if you want to take the doors off, the mirrors aren't connected to the door. So right here, open the door. You had to see not connected. There's also a lamp under here for you to see at night or if you're off-roading. And then you can take off the door, and you can also place the doors in the trunk of the Bronco, which was another big selling point of Ford because they are frameless. Now, when they first came out, this was questionable, but I think now it's not as questionable. But it's how you see finicky. Nothing wrong with frameless doors. Sports cars have them, luxury cars have them, but they're more solid doors versus this isn't solid. This is more lightweight, so you can take it off and put it in the trunk or put it at home, wherever you want to store it at. And sorry for that honk. That's Ford. That's the Bronco telling me, hey, the car's still on and the keys aren't in the car. The mirrors itself do fold in. Just push them in, push them out. Then going to the back of the beautiful Bronco, my friend added a reef to his full-size spare tire because it's Christmas time. You do have your rear view camera up here. You do also get a front-facing camera and a 360 camera with that luxury package. As you get a side door, you get a side door trunk, side door for your trunk, and then he added a sub in here, so it does not come with a sub. The trunk space in here isn't bad. I think it's pretty good. I don't think you're going to be hauling a lot of heavy things in this vehicle, so trunk space is pretty good. And to open this up, I believe there's a button up here to open it, but we're not going to do that right now. I apologize for how I'm doing this review. Usually I set up my GoPro, do different angles, but it is cold right now in Dallas, and I'm freezing even right now, so I'm doing a POV shot of this Bronco today. On the roof, we're going to get a hard plastic roof panel. You can get the soft cloth, or you can get a body color matching roof panel, I believe. But other than that, for the exterior, let me show you what's under the hood, and then we'll move on to the inside and do our driving review. So pop the hood, come right here. And then, and here she is. So powering this Bronco Wildtrak is going to be a 2.7 Twin-Turbocharged V6 that makes 330 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. MPGs, you're going to be looking at 17 city and 17 highway. I think this engine is good for what it does with the Bronco. If you want more power, of course, you should upgrade to a Raptor, or if you want to upgrade even more and jump ship, you can upgrade to a Jeep Wrangler 392. But that is all I have for the engine. And then you notice it's a Wildtrak because there's a Wildtrak badging right there, graphic design right there, because the Sasquatch package is available on different trims. So if you get the basic trim, you get a Badlands, I believe it's called Black Diamond, Outer Banks, you can get the Sasquatch package on it, and it will look like a Wildtrak. Which is what my friend was trying to do at first, because Wildtraks were pretty expensive, even used, but he got lucky and found this one at a price that he was comfortable at buying it. Now, moving on to the inside. Also, another thing, part of the Wildtrak that you get automatically is, I believe it's called the High Luxury package, or High Lux package. Basically, that's going to add the cameras I talked about earlier. It's going to add an upgraded sound system. I believe this is Bowers & Owens sound system. You're going to get a 12-inch infotainment screen instead of an 8-inch. Very good. It's very crisp, and I like how wide it is. And with the Apple CarPlay or even Android Auto, you can make it wider or you can make it smaller, depending on how you want to do it. And then you also get these faux leather seats for the driver and passenger in your back row, and they are 3-stage heated. Very good for what they do. Again, this isn't aimed to be a luxury vehicle or a luxury off-road vehicle like the Defender. This is made to do different things, but luxury isn't one of the main priorities of this vehicle. Now, starting in the front of the driver, you're going to get your speedometer on the left. Then you're going to get additional gauge display on the right. You can change it to show your fuel economy, off-roading, a comp screen, which is just blank, or you can have your music on there. Steering wheel itself, the rim of it is pretty thin, so my friend added this on here to make it more thicker. It is heated. And then left side on the buttons, they are rubber, which is it was kind of interesting first when I was driving it. I got used to it. But again, this is good for durability, that it will never get messed up. Same with the dash being hard plastic. It's not going to get messed up or dirty or anything like that. It's hard plastic. But back to steering wheel. Left side, you're going to get your cruise control settings, volume setting. Right side, you're going to get your buttons to control your additional gauge, or to skip music, or your phone controls. Moving back to the center, you're going to get your locking differential buttons right here, front lock, rear lock. Up top, you get your different aux buttons. So you want to put a light bar on here, you can, and you just hook it up to one of the outlets, and then boom, you can flip it on like that, flip it off, and it's pretty simple to do. Now, I don't know where the outlets are that go to each one. I'm not familiar with that, so I'm not going to even try to find them in here. Now, moving down below the screen, you're going to get your buttons to control it, and also you have a camera button, so you hit that right there. So you get a front-facing camera, and then you can change the angle of it, make it wider, make it more narrow. You get a 360 over-the-top camera, and then if you put it into reverse, same thing, except it's just the rear camera now. And same thing, you can go from wider, narrow, or the standard. Put back in park. Moving down below that, you're going to get the AC controls, and this is kind of funny how this vehicle came out in 2021. This is a 22, and I remember when the chip shortage was happening, Ford cheaped out in some areas with this vehicle. I remember the AC controls were the number one thing they cheaped out, because most vehicles, when they have this type of toggle for the AC controls, it shows you the readout of your AC right here. Ford didn't do that, so they just had this toggle here to go left or right, and it shows up on your screen, and also is in the corner of each of the screen for the passenger, right side, driver, left side. Your heated steering wheel buttons right here. Again, 3-stage heated seats for driver and passenger. Down below, also part of the package, is going to be a charging pad. It works very well. Then to the right of that, you're going to get a nice little plaque, Ford Bronco plaque, that also looks like the grill in the front with the headlights, so a little Easter egg. And so does the engine stop button. It has this circle right here, then it goes out, which looks just like the headlamps in the front. Your 10-speed automatic transmission is right here. If you want to go to manual, put it in M, of course, and then you can go up and down for plus and minus. Right here below that, you're going to get your GO.A.T mode selector, which means go over any terrain. And you're going to get your 4 low, 4 auto, 4 high, 2 high. And to switch to different modes, all you do is toggle it to the right or left. So you have normal, we have eco, we have sport. We're going to get slippery, mud and ruts, sand, and Baja. And like I said, depending on which mode you're in, the vehicle will automatically switch you to the drivetrain that is appropriate for it. Then behind that, you're going to get your window controls, all automatic. To the right, you're going to get your mirror controls, and then your glove box. And that's about it for the inside of the Bronco. To take off the roof panel, another selling point that they did against the Wrangler. I believe with the Wrangler, it was 2 panels. It was just this big one up here, and the rear. Ford actually made the Bronco to where it's easier to where you have 1 panel here, 1 here, and then of course you have the rear. So you could, if you wanted to, just take off this one and take off that one, and you could store that somewhere in your car instead of trying to do both of them, or do one big one and try to put it somewhere else. And then here's the back. Hard to see the back. My friend got a tinted back here, so it's hard to see. But that is the inside of the Ford Bronco. So now let's go for a little drive, and I'll tell y'all my experience with it and my review on it. All right, guys. So for the driving portion, I'm going to do a voiceover because the audio footage didn't sound good. I didn't like the way it came out when I was recording. So we're going to go and do it this way. So diving into the likes and my pros of the Bronco drives more smooth than I thought it would. I thought with the 35-inch tires, it will feel rough. I will feel every bump in the road. I'll be rocking it everywhere in the cabin. But no, it feels very smooth to drive. Even on turns, it didn't feel off balance at all. It felt really balanced, and I know that helps with the GO.A.T mode selection, where you can change the drivetrain to be 4 high or 4 low or 2 high, or just put in the auto. And I think the Bronco looks great from the outside, especially if you have the Wildtrak trim, or if you get the Sasquatch package on the other trims to help give it that aggressive look like a Wildtrak. Now, the only trim I don't like is the Raptor. I think the Raptor looks too aggressive. It's too wide. I think it looks like a big tank. But if you're wanting the more upgrade performance engine, then the Raptor is going to be your choice, or you could jump ship to a Jeep 392. As far as dislikes, the cabin noise is very loud with the wind coming from the outside, especially at high speeds. I don't know if it has to do with the insulin of the roof panel and the front window, but when you're driving at high speeds, your ears will start popping as if you're on an airplane. Anytime I got on the highway and I was going over, let's say 65 or 70, my ears would start popping. And the only way to avoid this is that I had to put the window down so my ears won't be popping everywhere. And then another dislike is that I'm 6'1". I didn't sit in the back seat, but when my friend drove, I sat back there one time. Back seats are, that makes sense. Another dislike is that I'm 6'1". Back seats are not spacious to me at all. So if you have taller kids, they might not be comfortable in the back. But if you don't need a 4-door and you really just need a 2-door Bronco, they have those available for the Wildtrak, for the Black Diamond, and for the Badlands. You can get those in 2-door. The only ones you can't get 2-door is the Outer Banks, the Raptor, and any of the like Heritage Special Edition Broncos. But you can for sure get a Wildtrak 2-door, and I think that looks just as good as the 4-door. Now, obviously, I did not take the Bronco off-road because, one, it's not my car, it's my friend's car. 2, I don't do off-roading. I have no knowledge of how good it is off-roading from my personal experience. But I can tell you this, regular day-to-day driving on the roads, it's a solid vehicle to get, and you won't feel, like I said, you won't feel nervous driving it and feeling like you're gonna flip over if you're turning it, because no, the vehicle drives very smooth. And lastly, if you're looking for a 2022 Wildtrak, depending on the miles, The average selling price for these are around $50,000 to $55,000, which is funny because that was the original MSRP range in 2022. But because they were marked up so much, people mainly saw Wildtrak selling for more than 10K over sticker, which it still goes on a little bit today. Even with some used ones, you'll find some that are nowhere near the Kelly Blue Book suggested used price quote, but you can find them. Like I said, my friend found this for 50K, and it had around 37,000 miles when he got it. So if he sold it today, he could basically get his money back for it, because Broncos hold their value, especially if you get a Wildtrak, it will hold its value. But other than that, that's all I have for y'all today in this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for cruising with G.O.A.T. I'll see y'all next time.